Hi guys, it's part 2 of the Mother's Day breakfast. I'm going to show you how to make a really easy, cheat hollandaise sauce, because it can be done and it's very easy to do. I'm going to do just enough for demonstration purposes. I've got 2 egg yolks in here, a pinch of salt, and then I have heated the lemon juice and I have heated the butter. So this is going to be done with a stick blender or in a blender if you have one. And the friction from the blades is going to heat up the egg yolk. But the fact that I've heated both the lemon juice and the butter is going to cook the egg yolk. So you don't have to stress about it not being brought to temperature. It is going to be pasteurized, it is going to be cooked. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to give this a whiz. And while I do that, I'm going to put in the heated lemon juice, which is essentially going to start cooking the egg yolk. And then now I need to start adding the butter slowly. The reason I'm using the stick blender for this is because it's such a small quantity. Here's your hollandaise. It's perfect. And if I feel the temperature, it's warm. So this is cooked, and it is, I mean, anybody can make hollandaise sauce under these conditions. So now, you should keep this warm, hollandaise sauce, for the duration that you're using it. And then discard it, because you're not going to make enough to really keep. So I've got a pot of water on to boil. I have a pinch of salt in there, and I have some vinegar. If you're lucky enough to have beautiful chickens laying eggs for you, then the albumin will be perfect and perky and stand up, and that's what you should be using for poached eggs. These are free-range eggs, obviously, but unfortunately we never know how long they've been sitting in the store, and the albumin often just disappears. So it's going to be hit or miss when we make these poached eggs, and I'm going to show you 2 different methods, primarily because if the eggs are not fresh, poached eggs suck. But I would rather have one of those poached eggs done like this than those rubber frisbees that some restaurants have the audacity to sell as poached eggs. Whether you use those little contraptions in your own home where you put it into that thing is entirely up to you, but when you go to a restaurant and you order poached eggs, they should not be serving that stuff to you. So we're going to do proper poached eggs here. So we're going to let this water come up to a rolling boil, and then we will do the eggs. Okay, so if you look at this, there is no clear definition of any albumin, and these are supposedly fresh eggs from the supermarket. And what you see is the albumin disappearing, running a marathon to get as far away from the egg yolk as possible. It's not going to make a great poached egg, but we will persevere. Right, I've toasted some muffins, and I have smashed up some avo, and I'm going to use the ají that I made the other day, the fresh chili and tomato stuff. So I'm going to add some of this to my avo. And then I'm going to, we're not going to use all of these because I'm obviously not going to do the whole vibe, but I'm going to add the smashed avo to one of these. In readiness for my poached egg. And then I'm going to just quickly fry some bacon before I do the eggs, because the eggs need to come out and everything needs to be ready. I'm doing my eggs Benedict with bacon. Traditionally you'd use ham, And a lot of people fry that ham, which it doesn't float my boat at all. I would far rather have some really nice crispy bacon to go on there, or ham that is not refried. So while I crisp that bacon up, I'm going to do my first egg. Give the water a stir to create a vortex, and then pop your egg in the middle. And the swirling water should wrap this beautiful fresh white around the egg yolk. As you can see, this is the first sign that this is not a fresh egg. This is the other method I'm going to show you, is get a ladle, put some of the boiling water in there, and then just gently put it in and hope that all that white is not going to disappear before it has a chance to semi-set. And then you will end up with a slightly better formed poached egg for dodgy egg white. I mean, these eggs are fresh. If you put them in a glass of water to test whether they're fresh or not, if they float to the surface, they are bad or very old. And why that happens is because the air pocket in the top of the egg becomes bigger. And that is because the membrane and the white starts shrinking as the egg is aging. So the weight of the egg, which indicates its freshness when it falls to the bottom of the glass, is because the air pocket is so small because the egg white is fresh. So that's a good test. But even though these eggs will float, they won't float, they'll sink to the bottom, indicating that they're fresh enough to eat. These are the sort of eggs typically you'd have, for scrambled egg or for boiled eggs. The fresher the white, the better for things like poached eggs or fried eggs. So I'm putting my crispy bacon onto my muffin, and then the egg that I've done the free-form proper way, got a clean tea towel, and always drain your egg, because otherwise you end up with the most disgusting wet soggy toast or whatever. So I've drained this. I'm going to put it onto my muffin. This is medium, this is done medium, so the egg yolk will run. And then we are going to get this lovely hollandaise sauce. And lambaste this muffin with it. Then I'm just going to add a little bit of chopped parsley on top. If you've got chives, use chives or something like that, whatever fresh herb you fancy. And it just makes it look pretty, and it just is a lovely fresh flavor, which I always think is a great thing to have. So we're just going to make it aesthetically a bit nicer. And we're going to put some on there as well. If you've got coriander, put coriander on there, that'll be great. So here we've got our second egg. I'm just going to try and release it. I'm going to drain it quickly. This one I've done, it will be medium inside, but it's slightly further done than the other one. So this, as you can see, is broken up, which is again showing the lack of freshness in the egg. But they will be edible, so don't panic about it. And don't be scared to try to make poached eggs, because they are really a great healthy way of eating eggs, and one of the finest things that one can have. So we're going to just put a little grind of pepper, more than a grind for me, and then a little pinch of cayenne pepper. Little pinch of cayenne. And hey presto, Mother's Day breakfast. Because our leaders, who are clearly not history scholars, have pushed us back into the Prohibition era, which is mind-blowing, we are unable to have Bucks Fizz, so we have orange and soda for the perfect Mother's Day breakfast. I hope you women are appreciated and loved and spoilt by your nearest and dearest. This is for my 3 children who I miss terribly, and I'm making this breakfast for me from you. I love you guys. Bye.